Greetings all, yes, best from the west. I pray you're all in good health and everything's tickety-boo and life's going good for you, upstream rather than downstream. And if you want to go downstream, you know the score, it's up to you. However, I think we should all go upstream and look to the future rather than the past. But sometimes you've got to look at the past. And the reason I say that is because I saw my namesake on Facebook today saying about the England girls winning the Euros and how the black girl has been treated really well, etc., etc. But I totally agree with him. You know, as soon as something goes wrong, yeah, we will get it, you know. And that is so true. You know, I'm just going to stand under this tree for a second and talk to you all. Yeah. Because, you see, as a youth, when I was growing up in England, you know, everyone who knows me knows my story. You know, I came here in '58 and we had a lot of racism then. I remember moved on to Monton Street, so number 3 Monton Street was where, when I first came to England, that's where we stayed, because back in those days you'd have, we'd always living in rooms. So my mum sold her little house that she had in Barbados to come here and live in a room. Yeah, that's serious, you know. And however, because that's how she could pay for her flight, her passage, because she came on a ship. So, you know, they didn't even pay when they came and asked us to come over. They didn't even give us no dough to come over. We had to find our own. We had my mother, and I'm sure thousands of others had to find their own dough to come here and to work and help this country, rebuild this country. You know, it's not like you could come here and get anything. You know, anyhow, I'm going off track here, but I don't want to go too far off track. Yeah, so, you know, they came here and they spent their dough in the Caribbean, whatever money they had, got on the boats or planes, whichever way they wanted to come, and then they would come here and face the amount of racism that we got in the 50s. You know, I remember I was saying when I first came here, we moved on to Monton Street in Moss Side. Number 3 Monton Street, never forget it. And either at number 5 or number 7, it was on the same side, a couple of doors down. I can't remember exactly how many doors down, but there was a note in the window. Yeah, no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. That is serious. You know, I remember seeing that with my own 2 eyes. Now, I'm not saying they've got that in the window, but the rhetoric that's going on from the media at the moment is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And as a black man walking on the streets here in England, you know, I mean, people might say, well, go back to where you come from, etc., etc., etc. Listen, you can say what you want, yeah, but I'll tell you now, in my own little way, I helped build this country. Yeah, I used to work in the industry. I've worked in the making, glue. I've done making fenders for trucks. I've worked in the wood industry. I've had many jobs in this country, helping to build up this country. Because when I first came here, if you put your hands in front of your face, you couldn't see, in winter time, you couldn't see exactly what you were doing. Yeah, I remember one time, many a times, waiting for the bus to come to take us to school. Yeah, and the bus would have to be on top of you, literally on top of you, before you could see what number it was. I swear to God, that's how bad it was, you know. And we helped clean this up, you know, with our guys in the pits, you know, making sure that the energy was still running, you know, because don't forget, when we came in the 50s and the 40s, the war had just finished, so a lot of the guys and things were killed off. Yeah, so they needed people to come here and help rebuild this country. And I'm not saying the boats are right, I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm not saying anything about the boat. I'm talking about the racism that we receive in this country after having built it up. Yeah, and it's totally wrong. So I totally agree with Winston, yeah, that at some stage, you know, it will all come back out, you'll hear it all again, the chanting on the pitch, you know, and this and all them things, you know. It's just bad. Anyhow, listen, I don't want to go on too much about it, but I just wanted to come on here and give my two pennies worth about what's going on in this country at the moment. And yeah, it is sad. You know, when I walk down the street, I'm stood here, right? And I'm looking around because every little noise I hear or something behind me, I'm looking around to make sure that no one's sneaking up on me or anything, you know, making sure that everything's good, you know. And it's sad to say, you know, yeah, I'm going to go back to Barbados at some stage. I am. But Barbados is just as bad, but it's not bad racially, it's bad violently. You know, we've got a lot of crime in Barbados at the moment. There's a lot of crime all around the world. You know, it's not just here in England. It's, you know, you run from here and you go back to wherever you originated from and, you know, you're getting wiped out, you know, because people think you've got dough and you come up from a country that's rich. Yeah, don't forget, everyone keeps saying this country is like the sixth richest or the fifth richest country in the world still. After everything they're talking about, they've got no money and no this and no that. But they can find money to help bomb places. They can find money to help jets go off to places. They can find money to do all these things. But yet still they can't find no money to help the homeless, to feed the homeless. You know, really it's sad, you know. I mean, if you look, if you go to Finland or Switzerland or any of those countries, you know, very few people are on the street sleeping. You know, very few. Because why? Because the government looks after the people. Yeah, you know, they don't look after us here. They just leave us to rot. Yeah, whilst the 1% is out there doing what they want to do, getting on with life. But I tell you, remember back in the day when they said eat the rich? I'm sorry, but it looks like it's coming down to that. You know, because a lot of people out here are very, very, very poor, having to sleep out in the rain in summertime, sleep out in the rain in wintertime, walking with the children, you know, homeless. You know, I seen a guy on what they call it this morning, you know, and he was walking with his child in London and he was homeless with his child. What's that about? That's so sad. Anyhow, listen, I've had my two pennies worth. So yeah, Winston, I totally agree with you, mate. Yeah, I totally 100% with you there on that one. Anyhow, listen, I've stood here and I've chatted and chatted and chatted and chatted. And you know what, I'm going to get off. I'm going about my daily business and hopefully I'll reach home safely again tonight. You know, because that's what it looks like it's getting to that way. You know, will you get home safely when you go out of your door? Will you be allowed to come back in your door in one piece? You know. Anyhow, enough gloom and gloom. I just really hope that you all are good, you all are healthy, and keep an eye out, keep your eyes peeled, everyone. Yeah, don't care what colour you are, keep your eyes peeled, because there's a lot of people mad. Mental health is a real thing. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that've got mental health issues, and you've got to watch out. Just watch out, yeah. But be good, yeah. Don't walk with the Most High, and don't walk with fear, you know. And that's why I come out, because as much as I look around, I'm not walking with no fear, you know. Because anybody come, they have to come big. Trust me. Anyhow, listen, I love you all. See you all, yeah. And remember, the Most High loves you more than I do, and life is good for you as it is for me. Right at this moment in time, life is good, yeah. See you all. Remember, I love you, but the Most High loves you more than I do. And if no one's told you today they love you, I'm telling you, I love you. Just you. Bye.